The mistake that cost me my flight. Airport vocabulary story. Introduction. Have you ever watched a plane take off and thought, "That is beautiful"? Now imagine watching a plane take off and thinking, "Oh no, that was my plane, and my luggage is on it, and I am still here, on the ground." That is a terrible feeling. It feels like your stomach drops to your feet. It is expensive, it is stressful, and it is embarrassing. I am telling you this because it happened to me. 2 years ago, I planned a perfect holiday. I bought the tickets, I packed my bags, I arrived at the airport on time. But I never got on the plane. Why? Because I made one small, stupid mistake. And I didn't understand one specific announcement. In this video, I am going to tell you the story of how I missed my flight. But this is not just a sad story. This is a lesson. We are going to walk through the airport together, step by step, from the entrance to the airplane door. I will teach you the essential airport vocabulary that you need to survive. You will learn the difference between a layover and a stopover. You will learn what boarding really means. And most importantly, you will learn how to avoid the mistake that cost me $500. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's begin the story. Chapter 1. The Booking and the Bags. Every journey starts before you leave your house. It starts with the booking. I wanted to go to New York. It was my dream. I went online to buy my tickets. Here is the first vocabulary lesson. When you buy a ticket, you have two main choices. One-way ticket, you fly there, but you don't have a ticket to come back. 2. Return ticket, or round trip. You fly there and you fly back. I bought a return ticket. It was cheaper. I received an email with my itinerary. Itinerary means your travel plan. It shows the dates, the times, and the flight numbers. Then I had to pack. This is where many people get confused. In English, we have different names for the bags. First, there is the checked baggage or checked luggage. This is the big, heavy suitcase. You cannot take this with you to your seat. You give it to the airline, and it goes into the bottom of the plane. Second, there is the carry-on, or hand luggage. This is the small suitcase or backpack that you carry on the plane with you. It goes in the overhead locker above your seat. I was going for 2 weeks, so I had both. A big checked bag and a small carry-on. I checked the weight limit. 23 kilograms. Perfect. I was ready. I felt organized. I felt smart. Little did I know, the disaster was waiting for me. Chapter 2. Arrival and the check-in maze. I arrived at the airport 3 hours early. People say, "Better safe than sorry." The first thing you see at a big airport is the sign for terminals. A terminal is a big section of the airport building. Big airports like Heathrow or JFK have Terminal 1, Terminal 2, Terminal 3, and so on. They are far apart. If you go to the wrong terminal, you might miss your flight. I checked my ticket. Terminal 4, I told the taxi driver. We arrived at departures. Departures, the place where you leave. Arrivals, the place where people land and come out. I walked through the sliding doors. I looked at the big departure board, the big screen with all the times. I found my flight number, BA189 to New York. Status on time. Great. I thought. No stress. I went to the check-in desk, or check-in counter. Nowadays, many people do online check-in at home on their phone, but I had a big bag to drop off. I stood in the queue, or line. When it was my turn, the woman behind the desk was very polite. Agent. Passport and ticket, please. I gave them to her. Agent. Do you have any bags to check? Me. Yes, just one. I put my suitcase on the scale. She put a sticky tag on it. Goodbye, suitcase. See you in New York. Then she gave me the most important piece of paper, the boarding pass. Please remember this, a ticket is what you buy. A boarding pass is what allows you to get on the plane. No boarding pass, no flight. Agent. Here is your boarding pass. You are in seat 14A. Your flight leaves from gate 22. Boarding starts at 10:30. Have a nice flight. Gate 22, I repeated to myself. Gate 22. Easy. Chapter 3. The Security Stress. After check-in, you have to go through security. This is the part everyone hates. It is stressful. Everyone is rushing. You have to take off your belt. You have to take off your watch. Sometimes you have to take off your shoes. You put everything into a plastic tray. The security officer shouted, "Laptops out of the bag! No liquids over 100 milliliters." Vocabulary check. Liquids: water, shampoo, perfume, toothpaste. Metal detector: the door frame you walk through that beeps if you have keys in your pocket. Body scanner: the machine where you stand with your hands up. I walked through the metal detector. Beep! Oh no. My heart stopped. Everyone looked at me. Was I a criminal? No. I forgot some coins in my pocket. Sorry, I said. I removed the coins and walked through again. Silence. Phew. I collected my bag. I put my shoes back on. I checked my watch. It was 9:30 a.m. My flight boarding started at 10:30 a.m. I had 1 whole hour. I was through security. I was airside. I felt very relaxed. This is exactly when I made my mistake. I relaxed too much. Chapter 4. The Fatal Distraction. Once you pass security, you enter a magical place called duty-free. Duty-free shops sell expensive things without tax. Perfume, giant chocolate bars, alcohol, sunglasses. I thought, I have an hour. Gate 22 is probably close. I will do some shopping. I walked around. I smelled some cologne. I looked at the sunglasses. I bought a magazine. Then I decided to go to a cafe to get a coffee. I sat down, opened my laptop, and answered a few emails. I was wearing my noise-cancelling headphones. This is a great technology for the plane, but a terrible technology for the airport. Why? Because I couldn't hear the announcements. Vocabulary check. Announcement when a voice speaks over the loudspeaker to the whole airport. Paging when they call a specific person's name. Passenger John Smith, please go to gate 22. At 10:15, I thought, okay, time to go to the gate. I stood up. I walked casually. I looked at the signs. Gate 1, Gate 5, Gate 10. It was a long walk. Airports are bigger than you think. Finally, at 10:25, I looked at a TV screen. Monitor, just to check. I looked for my flight. New York. BA189. My eyes went wide. My coffee almost fell from my hand. The screen did not say Gate 22. The screen said Gate 54. Final call. Gate change. Sometimes the airport changes the gate at the last minute. While I was drinking coffee with my headphones on, they announced the change. Gate 22 was on the left. Gate 54 was on the right, on the other side of the terminal. It was 10:26. I had 4 minutes before the gate closed. Chapter 5. The Race. I started to run. I ran past the duty-free. I ran past the toilets. I ran past the slow families. "Excuse me. Sorry, emergency!" I shouted. I was running on the moving walkway, the flat escalator, but it felt too slow. My backpack was heavy. I was sweating. I saw the sign. Gate 40. Gate 45. Come on, I told myself. Run faster. I heard an announcement. This is the final boarding call for flight BA189 to New York. Passenger Alex, please proceed to the gate immediately. They were calling my name. They were waiting for me. I saw gate 54 in the distance. I saw the desk. I saw the staff. I sprinted, ran very fast, the last 50 meters. I arrived at the desk, breathing like a dog. I'm here, I gasped. The lady at the desk looked at me. She looked at the computer, and she shook her head. Agent. I am sorry, sir. The gate is closed. Me. But the plane is right there. I can see it. Agent. The doors are closed. The pilot has received the passenger list. We cannot open the door again, for security reasons. Vocabulary check. Gate closed. The moment you cannot enter anymore, usually 15 to 20 minutes before takeoff. Denied boarding. When they refuse to let you on the plane. Missed flight. The sad result. I watched through the window. The little truck was pushing the airplane back. My bag was on that plane. My holiday was on that plane. But I was standing on the carpet in gate 54. Chapter 6. Fixing the Mess. What do you do when you miss your flight? Do you cry? Well, maybe a little bit, but then you have to fix it. I had to go to the customer service desk, or transfer desk. There was a line of unhappy people. When it was my turn, I explained the situation. Me. I missed my flight. There was a gate change and I didn't hear it. Agent. Okay. Let me see. Since it was your fault, you were not at the gate, the airline is not responsible. But we can rebook you. To rebook. To change your ticket to a different flight. Agent. The next available flight is in 6 hours, but there is a fee. Me. How much, agent? There is a change fee of $200 plus the difference in ticket price. Total is $500. $500. That was painful, but I had no choice. I paid the money. Then she gave me bad news about my route. Agent. The direct flight is full. I have to put you on a flight with a layover. Vocabulary lesson. Layover versus stopover. A layover, or connection, is a short stop in another city to change planes. For example, flying from London to New York, but stopping in Iceland for 2 hours. A stopover is a long stop, usually more than 24 hours, where you leave the airport and visit the city. She gave me a flight with a 4-hour layover in Washington, D.C. So, instead of a 7-hour direct flight, my journey was now 15 hours long, and it cost me $500 more. And my bag? Agent. Your checked bag will arrive in New York without you. You will have to collect it at Lost and Found or the baggage claim office when you finally arrive. Chapter 7. The Lesson and Summary. I spent the next 6 hours sitting in the airport. I didn't buy any more coffee. I didn't look at the duty-free shops. I sat directly in front of the screen and stared at it. I learned my lesson, and now I want to make sure you learn it too. Let's review the essential vocabulary from my disaster. 1. The documents. Itinerary. Your plan. Boarding pass. The paper that lets you fly. 2. The bags. Checked baggage. The big bag that goes under the plane. Carry-on. Hand luggage. The small bag you take with you. 3. The places. Terminal. The building. Departures/arrivals. Leaving. Arriving. Gate. The specific door to your plane. Duty-free. The shopping area. The danger zone. 4. The problems. Gate change. When the plane moves to a different door. Layover. A stop to change planes. Missed flight. The nightmare. My advice for you. 1. Check the screens. Don't trust the gate number on your printed boarding pass. It can change. Check the TV screens every 20 minutes. 2. Go to the gate. Early. Don't sit in the cafe until the last minute. Go to the gate, find your seat, and then relax. 3. Listen. If you wear headphones, keep one ear open. Listen for your flight number. I finally arrived in New York at 2. I was exhausted. I was poor. But I was there. Travel is an adventure. Sometimes the adventure is amazing, and sometimes the adventure is running through a terminal sweating and shouting. But hey, at least now I have a good story to tell you. Have you ever missed a flight or had an airport disaster? Tell me your story in the comments below. I want to know that I am not the only one. If you learned some new words today, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to English Parchment. Safe travels, everyone. And check the screen. Bye.